Monday and it's 4:32. Monday and 4:32. Welcome. Come on in. It's Vivian and Short and Snappy. I'm calling it pop-up Pilates because I never know for sure if I'm going to do it every Monday. So it's going to be about 30 minutes and I want to concentrate on a little bit of shoulder mobility, spine mobility, laterally and rotation, as well as flexion backwards, which is actually called extension. So as you sit down and you get started, have a seat and feel those butt bones. Right away, we'll start with shoulder shrug and unshrug. Shrug and unshrug. As we focus on the upper body, near the shoulder and shoulder blades, near the neck, at the base of the head, all of these areas help to support your big head and is really the part that everybody notices when we talk about posture. So when your grandma slaps you on the shoulder and says, "Stand up straight, honey," your grandma is seeing you slumped over. So do it now. Shrug and unshrug as we warm up. As I isolate, I can do one shoulder at a time. Think lift, lift, down, down. Shrug, shrug, unshrug, unshrug. Now, I'm just going to do one more time with this shoulder leading and then reverse the lead shoulder. Up, up, down, down, up, up. It may feel a little silly, but really I want you to feel your shoulder blades in your back. Yeah, they're gliding up and down. Now, with one shoulder rolling forward and forward, feel the mobility. Note, your sternum and your head should not be moving. This is shoulder and not hand. It's shoulder, right? Other shoulder. Shoulder, shoulder. I'm just cranking around in one direction. And if we alternate, then that's right and left. This sort of reminds me of my jazz dance classes from back in the day. Reverse. So this is a reverse shoulder roll. Not only are you lifting the shoulder, that's the shrug, but there's an unshrug as your shoulders go down in back. Now, place both your hands basically behind you. See, my hands are not on my mat. And then over-exaggerate the spine extension. So you may not be able to tell, but I am arcing my back, maybe, back bending. Ooh, and then collapse. Pull your abs in. Inhale and press hard and heavy. Expand across the chest, and then you can relax. So once more, inhale and feel the chest expansion, spine extension, and then again, a little bit of a collapse. Now sit forward, inhale, and exaggerate how tall you can sit. I'm leaning to one side. As soon as I say lean, oftentimes people will slump and shrug. We want to be unshrugged when we lean over for the stretch. Notice my shoulder is still down. Inhale, return. Stay vigilant, tall, energized, light on your hand. Reach and stretch. Inhale, return, upright. Now, my hand is on the floor, yes, and I'm holding my body weight, yes, but I really want you to use that push to twist your body, rotate. Inhale, untwist your body, and then we'll go sideways, firmly pressing against the floor. Pull your ribs in and rotate. Inhale, untwist, and return upright. Now, I'm going right into a mermaid position, sometimes called fourth position, like from ballet, although not really. I'm holding on to my shin here. We also call this position mermaid. We'll do another version of side bending stretch. Now, I find this to be very challenging, so you should do the best you can, probably much better than me. I'm coming to the side, not behind me, side, and adding another side stretch, and my elbow comes down. Lift this side rib cage up toward the ceiling. Return and repeat the mermaid stretch. Ooh. Yes, you could be a merman here. I'm doing one more of the mermaid stretch. Oof, this side is so much easier than, wait till I get to the other side. From here, face down. So I am down and both hands are on the floor. One more time, stretch out the back. As you come up, you'll bring that leg that was behind you and simply cross it in front. Give your spine a little bit of a twist. This exercise, or this stretch, is often misunderstood when you miss the details. Your butt bones should be anchored and your spine should be very erect, vertical. And now look around behind you. Oh yeah. Now when I untangle myself, my legs will go to the other side, mermaid or fourth position. Here you'll notice right away I have a difficult time. I hope you can do this better than I. So over to the side, yeah, I'm bending over in the direction of my legs, holding on and pulling myself. As I come down, my elbows land on the floor and I exaggerate the rib lift. Oof. Return, here's the mermaid. Oof. Yep, that's as far as I can go. Oof. And you can call this the merman. I'll do one more mermaid, trying to coax a little more lift in my waistline and ribs. And as I come over, this time I'll turn. Both hands are in the floor, and I'm opening the shoulder blades wide, actively. This is not a passive position. Now, as I come up, I'll bring that back leg all the way around to the front and anchor my butt bones. I've seen people do this twist with their forearm or elbow pushing against the thigh. I've seen it done with hands at your thigh. Whichever way works best for you. Remember to sit up tall and spiral, looking back behind you. This always makes me want to burp. Oof. All right, I am ready to turn to the side. We're going right into some great abdominal exercises. First, bring awareness to your shoulders, pulling the shoulders down and back. Now rounding the abdominals, and your shoulders probably came forward. Exaggerate lifting and sitting up tall, shoulders back, and then exaggerate your deep abdominal grip. I'll do one more, sitting up nice and tall. Now, as we make our way back, come halfway, and then just test float one leg, test float the other. Of course, you're going to test float both legs. My feet are closed. Try to rely on your abdominal seat belt and let go. Very slowly, we're going back. We're going back. Try not to crash your head on the floor. I can't believe I just said that. Don't crash your head on the floor. Return to the seated position, and you're going to use everything you got. Probably a little momentum, probably a little shifting of the legs. Pull your abs in. Let's go back. Again, soften the landing. Figure it out. Inhale. Exhale. Everything within your power to not throw your arms. Come back slow. Each vertebrae, one vertebrae at a time. Inhale. Roll up and again. Rely on sheer abdominal strength. Holding on to one knee, we'll be starting with alternating single leg. As you alternate your single leg extension, come back to your ribs and then return up, come forward. Give it a little kick. Here we come back again and stay on the ribs. Today's rhythm will be a single, and a double. The double means two pulls. Here's single, two pulls. Single, two. Your breathing could be inhale, so there's an exhale on the double. Oh, my head is starting to get heavy. Renew the lift of your head. I know your head is heavier than mine. Lift your head. Here we go. Reach, pull, and final reach, pull, and head down. Keeping your head down, draw your knees all the way back to your chest. We let the tail lift so that we can get into the proper position of neutral spine. As my thighs go away to tabletop position, my knees bent at 90 degrees and hip flexion also 90, sometimes called 90-90. My spine is neutral. My fingertips can easily slide under my back, and I'm going to resist the temptation to smash my back into the mat. Instead, pull your abdominal muscles down and don't mash your back in the mat. Both legs moving now, heels tapping the floor, and return. Continue several more times in slow motion, keeping the 90-degree bend or right angle at the knee. if you find that you've done this with me many times, and this is not as challenging as it used to be, send your heels out another inch farther away. But don't get too zealous, right? We're not ever going to use the word straighten the legs. I'm just going to say reach your heels out about an inch farther than you did before. I'm adding some arms. We begin with straight arms and jazz hands. My arms are going back. Now they should remain straight, which means your arms should go back, but only as far as you can still keep your arms straight. Because if you're going to get sloppy and just throw your hands back, well, that's not Pilates. All right, I'm done lecturing. Let's lift the head. Well, when? You're lifting your head now. And then continue one more time, and here's the change. My hands will wrap around my shins. This time my legs will go forward and hands to shins. Arms reach above your head. Exhale, hands to shins. Now, notice the low back is completely mashed into the mat. I'm closing my front ribs here when I exhale. I'm doing this at a nice slow pace, not too fast, and yet not too slow. Last one. Hold on to your thighs and rock and roll forward and back. Try not to slam your feet on the floor. Don't slam your feet on the floor. We'll do one more. And when you arrive, you can straighten both legs. Be sure to point your feet, okay? Open and close a few times. Don't get too silly here. And then, boom. I'm keeping the legs straight, and hopefully they'll stay like suspended animation. Come back to just ribs on the floor, not your head. Pump those arms. Breathe in through your nose, then blow out through your mouth. Inhale, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in. Inhale, 3, 4, 5. Pull those shoulders down. Inhale, 3, 4, 5. Pull your abs in. Inhale, 3, 4, 5. Stretch through your toes. Inhale, 3, 4, 5. Reach through your fingertips. 9, 2, 3, 4, 5. 10, 2, 3, 4, 5. And rest. Hug the knees in nice and tight. Now the next exercise, the legs will go over your head. It's called roll over, but we're doing only 2, so let's get the most, like really get to the meat of this exercise. Feel free to use your hands where necessary, and if you've never done this before, it's going to take a little momentum, right? So here we go. Roll over. You could use your hands where it's necessary. Those of you veterans out there, you know, try not to use your hands. The legs are longer, straighter, heavier, and your toes might touch the floor. I think I'm out of the camera shot. Sorry about that. Anyway, my legs are still attached to me, and my toes are about to touch the floor. Boom. Slowly roll down. My feet are open about shoulders width, hips width, shoulders width, not too wide. Just one more. Really, give it your best shot. Blow. Go. As your legs get heavier and your low back, well, mid back and low back are getting a nice stretch, separate your feet and then slowly rolling down. Oof. Now you're just going to grab one leg, find your favorite, and lower the other leg. You don't want to touch the floor. You want to stay active. My ankle is flexed so that I can stretch the base of my Achilles, the top of my Achilles, my calves. I'm going to try to say that right. The next leg. Switch. So my leg is straight and my ankles are flexed, so I can stretch the top of my Achilles and the base of my calves. Here we go. Heads up, please. What? And switch, catch, pull. Switch, catch, pull. This is supposed to be a straight leg exercise, and yet I see lots of people struggle, so do the best you can. Try reaching higher near the ankle. You'll get better leverage than grabbing your thigh, because that almost automatically makes you bend your knee. We want straight, straight, straight. Just 4, 3, 2, and 1. Head down and rest. Completely at rest with your knees down on one side. Let your knees land on one side. Open your arms wide and turn your head away from your knees. We won't be here long, but try to extend your body in diagonal, which means my top leg is straightening down low and my back arm is stretching high and back so that there's a long diagonal line from the hand that's way up there, and the leg that's way down there. Oof. Gather your elbow and knee in and try the other side. My legs are down at rest and my arms are open wide. And to exaggerate this, my leg is straightening at the down diagonal and my arm is reaching fully extended in the upper diagonal. Like if you were the hands of a clock, you might be like 10 minutes before 5. Wait, what? 10 minutes before 5. Reach. Alrighty, gather your elbows and knees in and just one quick rock and roll. Seated, please. Have a seat. Face down is next because it's just like unethical for me to teach all abs and not have done anything for your back. So let's do this. I am appreciating that when I'm down on the mat, face down, that my feet can be open. Open the feet and then pull your pants up. Place your forearms down on the mat. Now, this does make a difference. And if you're really listening, when my elbows are widely placed, I don't get as much lift. But this might be appropriate for some of you who have a really stiff back. For some of us who are a little bit more bendy, the elbows are closer together, closer toward each other. And this affords me the push that I need to get up a little higher. And if you practice yoga, or maybe you were a young gymnast, you probably have a really bendy back. You may be able to go elbows off the floor. I'm not that bendy. So I am with my narrow cobra elbows and limbering my back. This is the last one. As you come up, keep your legs active, like every muscle is turned on, isometric. And just what I'm doing now, turning my head, is what I want you to do. Turn your head and lead with your eyes and look down, like you might be able to see your own foot. Oh my God, I can. Other side. Crank your head, adjust, minor adjustment in the body, turn and look down in search of your foot. And then return to center, a little higher, up, and come down. I'm leaving my elbows where they are, and bringing my knees just underneath me to get to the modified push-up position, which means my hips are down, not up. And notice my knees are bent, so my feet are up. What am I doing now? Watch. I use the power of my triceps and my abs to launch me off the floor. On the way down, slowly and with control, my elbows are bending and I've landed softly. Let's go. This is a tricep push-up. I strongly suggest opening your fingers wide so that your palms are spread. As you exhale, now remember to bring your pelvis down with you. Bring your hips with you. Exhale and I'll do one more because I can feel myself moving. My thighs are sliding away. Last one. Now you can leave your hands just where they are, down. Bring the knees underneath you and then roll onto your toes. I will call this position bear claw. I'm trying to keep a 90-degree bend in my knee and a 90-degree flexion at my hips. My knees are off the mat, like 2, 3, 4 inches off the mat. So I'll say, tap your knees down, lift. Go all the way down, lift. Knees down, tap, lift. And this is to just reassure you that you are not on the mat when you stop. Stop with your knees off the mat. You're going to downward dog, but don't move your feet or your hands. This is very brief, very brief. Return again to your bear claw position, and you can tap your knees on the floor once or twice. Reassure yourself that you are still in bear claw. Here's my one leg going straight back and return underneath. Straight back and return toward the chest. Going straight back and return. Here's the last one. Replace your foot and get into your best bear claw. Leg number 2, straight back and then underneath. My spine is doing a little bend, rounding like a tortoise shell. And here's the last one. Knees down, sit back, and rest. That exercise was demanding. My arms were doing a little shaking. What? Oh, shaking. All right. Today we're going to include regular forearm plank, again on the toes and on the forearms. Get your hips down. Even when you think you're in the best position, often the hips are still a little high. Now we're rolling to the side, so I am rolling to face the camera. You can stay on 2 feet, which is much easier, or you can stack one leg on the other. You decide what's best for you today. Some of you may have dropped down to your knee immediately, but lift the other leg at least. Looking up at the ceiling, jazz hands. Hips up, hips up, hips up. And then I will return to both forearms. Have a moment so you can sort of assess your alignment, assess the level of stamina you still have left. Then navigate your way to the other side. Seems kind of rude that I've turned my back to you, but probably you turned your back to me. So keep your arms up long and straight. Hover your hips high, hips up high, lifting hips high, and that's enough. Return to both. Boom. From here, come on up to your hands just once. Bring one knee underneath you, sink down into pigeon stretch. This is very brief pigeon stretch, very brief, so we can prepare the hips for just one more face down exercise. Make sure that you're getting the full benefit of this pigeon stretch right now. When you reach back and you grab your foot, bend your elbow to bring your heel in toward the buttocks as best you can. Now, there is a difference which arm you use, so let's use both arms. Here's the other arm now. Same leg. I'll discuss the difference some other day. Just make sure that you're getting as full a stretch as you can. Stay long through the neck, shoulders down. I'm going to let go and go through my plank position to bring the leg number 2 underneath. Sink down as heavy as you can. Relax that back foot. Ooh. Breathe a moment. Really concentrate. It's almost like a state of meditation for just those moments. Then reach back. Which arm are you using? Ooh, ooh, what's that? What is that? Yes, in the interest of equality, I am using the other arm. It's still the same leg. Oof. We're doing all this stretching for the next exercise, and this will be one more back strengthener. Let go, and when you come to plank, come all the way down and stay on your forearms. We'll be doing this exercise called single leg kick. The single leg will strike your buttocks twice. Kick, kick, straighten. I really would like to see that leg straight. Other leg, kick, kick, stretch. We got kick, kick, stretch. Be sure to alternate. Now, the tendency is your whole body is like rocking back and forth like a really bad suspension on an old car. So stabilize, kick, kick, lift. Kick, kick, lift. So that your upper body, the front and the back of your upper body is stationary. Kick, kick, stretch. One more. Kick, kick, stretch. Rest a moment. You can stack, stack, stack. If I said double leg kick and you did the math, both legs would come together at the same time. Kick, kick, stretch. Kick, kick, stretch. Here we go. Kick, kick, stretch. There should be some opportunity for your thighs to float, lifting the thighs off the mat momentarily. Oh, try not to let your legs open. Last one. And rest. You know, there's a whole bunch more, but we're just going to move on. Sit back in child's pose. Sit back in child's pose. Sinking your head down deeper and deeper and lower and lower. In fact, you can wrap your arms around your legs. Take a moment and breathe. Yay. We're going to use the language of shrug and unshrug in this last exercise. So one last time, all the way down. Keeping your arms down by your body, somewhat active, we'll just shrug and unshrug the shoulders. Shoulders shrug to your ears. Unshrug down and away. My arms are still actively reaching. Here's inhale, shrug, actively unshrug, reaching toward your feet. I'm going to close my legs now, and keeping your legs heavy and keeping your butt tight, lift. You would go inhale, down, exhale, lift. Use your arms. They can provide so much assistance as your chest pulls off the floor. As I've already said, I'm not very bendy, so that's about as high as I'm going to get. But I'm sure there's some of you who are up like a snake. Here we go. Pull it back. And on this last one, arrive up. My palms face up, and both arms are pulsing, just like the hundreds. Lift, 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 lift. Try to lift your chest. Try to clench your butt. And ideally, just keep your feet down, but heavy. Inhale, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 3, 4, 5. And rest. Oh, you didn't really think I was going to count to 100, did you? All right, sit back and rest. I've heard that called the inverted hundreds. Inverted makes me feel like I'm supposed to be upside down, but inverted meaning that I'm in the opposite position of the regular hundreds, which is always done on your back. We just did it inverted. We were on our stomach, and we did 10. All right. Come on up to seated, and not so graceful that was. And we'll just do a little bit of a exercise, if you will, that comes from the world of Feldenkrais. And you don't need to know who he is or what I just said, but it's Feldenkrais with an F. I have, in my case, my right leg is in front. And I am going to raise my arms and lean forward. This is the position that I always go to. It's my go-to position. My right leg is in front. I'm making a big deal of it because when you come back to vertical and lower your arms, you're going to switch your leg in front. I don't know how. It seems really foreign because your brain and your central nervous system is always in an automatic, right? Because it doesn't have to think. Now I got a different leg in front, and this is already so weird I can't even get comfortable. All right, here we go. Stop complaining. Inhale, keeping the straight arms and flat back. Oh my, why does it feel so weird, right? Reach and return. And just to prove that point, we're going to do it again. So that's my odd leg, or the foreign leg, the not the usual leg, is in front, and I'll come forward. This exercise is really about raising awareness. And it helps that your hips do both orientations, variations. So here's another drill that comes from the same family. I'll say, cross your arms. And you did the automatic cross, and you didn't even have to think. But when you look down, which arm is on top? In my case, it is my personal left arm on top. So in order to make this a Feldenkrais exercise, this is to exercise your brain, my other arm is on top, and I don't even know what to do. Like, huh, what? So here's the drill. Look at that arm, a foreign arm on top. Untangle your arms, close your eyes, and try to do that same cross. Oh, man. I have to think. I have to think. Here I am, I'm going to try again. And why do we close our eyes? So we don't cheat. Close your eyes, untangle your arms, then recross. Okay, my brain is already a little bit smarter. So for each time you practice, and I'm going to do it again, close your eyes, open, and cross your arms. Take a look. Ha! The brain is so adaptable. I figured it out much faster, but it's no more comfortable. It is not comfortable at all. First thing I want to do is... All right, so please sit comfortably and just take a deep breath with me. Inhale. Thanks for playing along, and I appreciate you coming to visit me. This class will be uploaded onto my YouTube channel called Fit with Viv. On Thursday, we'll be back at 4:30. Thursday, 4:30 for Foam Roller-Rama. Thanks, and I hope you'll join me then. Shrug, unshrug. Improve your posture. Sit up straight. Bye.